Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I know we've been off the air for a little bit, but welcome back to Tequila Talks. And I have a very, very special guest. Diancy. ¿Cómo estás?
Hi,
How are you?
bien, bien. How are you guys?
Blessed, blessed. Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you
I
for
know
inviting me. This is really
we
fun.
re- yes, we reconnected not too long ago, and definitely I'm working on some projects, obviously, together. So stay tuned,
Yeah,
everybody. We're not gonna, tell everybody what we're doing right now, but we want to get to know you. We want to get to know your journey, your background,
I'm
your story. Are you ready to chit chat for a little bit?
yeah, let's do it. I'm excited
All right. Love it. Tell us first and foremost a little bit about yourself. For
about
the people
me.
that don't know, because I know you know a lot of people, but for the people that don't exactly know who D is, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll start off with saying I'm a Mexicana. So I was born in Mexico and then my parents migrated here, so they brought me here when I was very young and I adapted into the American culture. I love rancho life. I love horses and yeah, I just that's like my thing. I just a little bit more about myself. Like I love discovering new things. I love doing new stuff. I get bored easily, so I loved what I
Mhm.
do because it's constantly changing and doing different things. So and that's basically. I mean, I'm very simple. I would say, aside from like my mind, it's a very simple thing. Yeah.
I love the rancho life too. Give me some horses, but I want the rancho life close to a beach. I don't know if that's possible, but hey,
It's
anything is possible.
gonna be possible. Build your own beach, a rancho.
There you go. There you go. But I know you own your own company, so which is awesome. What inspired you to start your own marketing slash experience coordinator firm?
Okay. So I think I've always loved to have people get out of their normal life. I think I don't enjoy routine outside of obviously like waking up early. Like I love doing that, but just doing the same thing over and over, it gets very mundane and very boring. And being able to experience life other way has always been like my main thing in life. I think everything just shifted when I went to my first EDC. I was not a raver girl, first of all. My friends kind of pursued me to go to this rave, and everybody backed out. It was like 10 of us, and everybody backed out. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go alone. And everybody's like, you're going to go to EDC Las Vegas alone? And I was like, yeah, I'll go alone. And I did go alone, and it just changed my life completely because I remember standing right in front of this huge stage with thousands of people, and I was like, "Oh my god, everybody's from all over the world." Like, I met people from, like, Russia and, like, Germany and Mexico, and I'm like, and everybody's just experiencing this very moment, and nothing else matters. Traumas don't matter, drama doesn't matter. You're just living life right now and experiencing it. And I remember saying, I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this forever. Like, I just want to do one of these. And the second year, my friends went with me, and I remember telling them, I was like, I think I want to do this forever. I think I just want to dedicate myself and creating events. And I started really small. I started doing like small constructions in like Lollapalooza and events, and I just never stopped. I want to be able to get you out of whatever you're going through at that moment, right? I want to be able to just sit down and indulge what that experience is giving you, whether it's smelling something or feeling something or watching something. I just want you to be in that moment and that moment
It's
only.
always been on my not things to do list. The solo dates, the going to a concert by myself. I know that wasn't your original plans, but you ended up doing that. So, what advice or share a little bit more about that experience that just going solo? What are the pros and cons to that?
I would say do it. I think, and I'm gonna get very deep. This is something that I'm gonna get very philosophical, I guess.
Yes.
Um, and especially in our culture, our Hispanic culture, from a very young age, they're already partnering you up with somebody. I don't know if that ever happened to you, but I remember I was so little, and then the neighbors were like, resérvemela porque se va a casar con mi hijo. And and I never understood that culture very well because I was like, that's really weird. Like, that, why are you guys setting me up? But again, they'd ingrained that in our culture so much that when you're older, you become almost codependent of somebody or codependent of anybody, whether it's your friends, your partner, whatever. And when you're not with somebody, and as years go by, it's almost like a danger zone, right? Like it's almost like you're not married yet, you're not with somebody yet. Like, why? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Like, and
Yeah.
to me it was, again, I did fall into that pressure as well because I'm a woman, I'm a single mom, I'm in my 30s, so everybody's like, honey, se te va a ir, like you're gonna end up like vistiendo santos and you're not gonna be with somebody, right? But I truly believe that the more you enjoy yourself and you get to know yourself, your darker self and your light, and understand it, and almost love all the sides of you, the better you feel in your own skin. Whether it's, and I'm going very deep in it because I used to be very like, maybe like 10 years ago, I was like, I needed, wherever I would go, hey, let me invite my friends. I don't want to go by myself. And so that was actually, going to that big festival was actually a breakthrough for me to just be like, hey, I can just do anything I want. I don't need to ask anybody and I don't need to wait for anybody. And the pros are you can do whatever you want. You're not dependent on anybody that wants to do whatever you want to do. You feel self sufficient. And I guess the cons would be, well, you don't get to share this moment with somebody else. But it's okay. I think like there's so many people that you can share different experiences with anybody, that allowing yourself to experience things with the person that you should love the most, which is you, it's even better or even greater.
Amen.
Yeah.
No, I love it because the reason I say that is, most of you guys, and I'm talking about the audience, know that I do have a place in Tulum, Mexico that I purchased a little bit over 3 years ago. And in January, they have crazy festivals. I forget what festival they're going to have in January there, but I'm going. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to go solo. I'm going to experience it. Like you said, you don't, as much as you want to experience it with friends or partner or whoever. I mean, there's going to be people there. You're going to meet people. And, the
Yeah.
thing about me is I'm a social butterfly. I like to talk. I like to make new friends. I like, I'm not just, holding a wall up and making sure it doesn't fall, so I yes, loving yourself and just being comfortable in your own skin and not needing to be, what do you call it, dependent on anybody or needing validation is
Yeah.
important. So definitely I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I look forward to that experience.
You're gonna have a ball. I can't wait to
Yes.
hear that.
Yeah, no, no. So definitely excited. Let's get a little bit into your business. So what's the name of your business?
It's Owl Haus Productions. So it's like the little owl and then it's a house. And the reason why I named it like that, my father's favorite animal is an owl, and it's represented
Okay.
by wisdom, right? Wisdom. And my father kind of always kept that in the family, like read, educate yourself, It was very it was such a great lesson that I had from my father. And my dad was like, we're owls and whatnot. So it was just so easy that, this project I would have that, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a very soulful company. It's not just like, well, we're gonna party, we're gonna have a good time. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna have a great time, but the experiences that we are curating are very meaningful. They're very soulful at times, and they come from a place of nostalgia. They come from a place of healing. They come from a place of enjoying yourselves in a different realm, in the more immersive experience vibe.
Yeah, no, that most definitely. Um, hey, let me ask you a couple of questions because I do have some questions for you.
Oh,
What
nice.
problem did you see in the market that motivated you to create your business? Or did you see any type of problem in the market?
I think that any system has hiccups and holes. It's not necessarily that I saw a problem. It was that the way I passionately feel towards an event, I I didn't feel it as often as I wanted to in different events that I would be part of, right? In my 20s, I had a lot of partying time. I partied a lot, and not just to like typical like let's get wasted, but it was more like, damn, I want to go to this place to go like dancing because I love dancing, or oh my god, this place is super cool. Like I would just want to experience it. But I just feel like when the very first time I went to Las Vegas, and I say Vegas because they have a lot of cool shows, and that's when I was like, oh my god, they're really into experiencing that moment, like Cirque du Soleil, or you really immerse yourself in that experience. And there is a few companies that they do it here, but I just felt like it wasn't enough. Like it wasn't branding uh the Latino community also, because I do have a lot of Latino events in that sense, but also it's just it not that it wasn't enough, like I said, not that it wasn't a problem, it's just it didn't feel like there was enough of it that I wanted to bring in and give it my little sazon, if you will.
Oh yeah, no, no, most definitely. How has your brand evolved since your first event?
It has uh, uh I would say it's made a 180 turn. Um, our first event was named Sonrisa, which it was a 5 a.m. uh secret spot uh Latin house event, right? So people would come at 5 o'clock in the morning, whether it was at the beach or at the forest, and they would just hang out and we would listen to music. Our DJs will play house music, and it was, from pets to children to family to, the after party. Like everybody was just having a really, really good time. Now the fall comes and we have Lunada, which is a more romantic event, right? You sit down, you dine, you take a couple of drinks, mocktails, and you just listen to live music and it's boleros, right? And I don't I mean, I'm a huge bolero girl. Like I grew up with them, and I would fall in love with somebody to bring me a serenata in my house. Like that's it. Like I'm marrying you forever. Like that's the type. I'm not kidding. Like I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. So I think it made a big change, and it was very challenging for us to shift from the very young house music to like, okay, now we're targeting a whole different audience. And it was challenging, but it was also very fun to see and to play. And this is our fourth one and it's sold out. So it's really interesting, and the company keeps evolving. I'm not putting any pressure. We're not putting any pressure. We're just letting it flow and see what comes out of it, which is really, really fun.
I love it. I love it. Yes, definitely attended one of the boleros, and it was nice, and look forward to attending the next one. I did miss the summer ones. I really really wanted to go to the beach again. I'm a beach guy. I love the ocean. I love the sand. But I know next year, 2026, I hope you bring those back so I can definitely
They are coming
experience that.
back.
Awesome,
The winter
awesome.
one is gonna be really fun. We're working on a winter event. Actual couple winter events that are gonna be really, really fun. I can't really say much yet because it's still in the works,
Yeah.
but that one's gonna be really cool.
Ooh, I can't wait. I'm excited about that. Um, I know we talked about a little bit about, their services. Is there any other like core service that your company specializes in?
Yeah, we work with different marketing aspects of any business, right? Restaurants, obviously loan officers. If they need help with their socials, their marketing, things of that nature, creating events for their audience as well, we do that as well. So we want to make sure that you are really profiting or really taking advantage of the tools that you have at hand, and not just do them for you, but teach each person how to do it, and make sure that they're benefiting from what they already have.
No, absolutely. What sets your company approach, like marketing approach, apart from other companies?
Yeah, I would say that I am very personable. I love to sit down with the people that I'm working with and really hear them out and see where is that. First of all, what is it that they're looking for, right? And what goals are they trying to achieve? And based on that, it's a very customizable plan or game plan for each individual. It's not just like a cookie cut experience for every single one. I believe that not just one shoe fits all experience. I think everybody's different and everybody has a different target and a different audience. So I think that's what sets us apart from anybody else that I've personally met.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you kind of answered this already, but how do you determine what strategies will work best for your new client?
You're gonna think this is hilarious, but time. We do a lot of when it comes to the business, I'm a very patient person, only because nothing can be forced, and that just goes with everything. Nothing can be forced. Everything has to be fluent. Everything has to kind of go and flow. You know, I speak for myself. Even my own company, switching from one completely demographic to another was very difficult, and almost playing with it, right? Playing with
Hmm.
different tactics and different things are what are really fun for us to market. Again, it's not like, oh, I know what the problem is. Let me figure it. No, it's more like, okay, let's figure out if this kind of works. If not, you know what, this is another way that we've been able to get some engagement. How about we do this? And again, it's time, patience, and being personable with the people, each event, each campaign, what is working, what is not. So I think that's the big goal in anything at all. Patience and being personable.
Amen. Amen. No, you hit it right there. You're right. What does an ideal client look like to you for your company?
Complete freedom. Complete freedom. Let me help you. No, I do get some clients and I love them, but they love to micromanage, which is again, I completely understand why somebody would want to micromanage obviously their company, but the perfect person for me, and this is me talking, me being lazy, because just let me be. Let me help you with what I know, right? But I will say that I love a challenge. So if you are not that, um, I kind of love it because I get to learn a lot more from that person. Why are you all like that? Why do you feel like, you can't trust me? Is there something that happened and previously that made you this way? So, and I say very philosophical,
Hmm.
but or it's like
Yeah,
why, right? And it's a challenge, but also it allows me to just be better as a person and as a businesswoman to understand other people's needs and how to approach them, right? Because not everybody's the same. So, yeah,
I
hope that
agree.
answered the question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know you're still fairly new, but can you share one of your successful campaigns and what made it work?
Yeah. And they say the bigger the risk, the the bigger the reward. When I initially started my company, I was so stuck on this idea of a 5 a.m. right, sonrisa. I was so stuck with it, and I would tell people and they're like, are you mental? Like, no one is going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to a like house event. Like, are you crazy? And I was like, dude, I just feel it in my soul that it's like it's actually kind of cool. And I we didn't do any like ads, nothing. It was just basically one flyer and one video that I created. And I was just like, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we'll pivot and figure something out. And yeah, we did that. Everything was organic. We put it on TikTok and Instagram. And the first one, it caught people's attention. We did the event. The second one, it blew up. It went viral. They're like, "Oh my god, what is going on? And what is this?" And I think that's the best campaign that I've ever had was believing in myself, believing that I could definitely pull something that I was terrified to do for so long. And I kind of just trust my gut and my instinct now more than ever. But I also um yeah, like I learned to just don't take don't take the failures a little too harsh and just trust what you got to do. And I think that has been my best campaign so far.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, failures are lessons, you know what I mean? So you can't succeed without failure. So I love that. What challenges do clients commonly face before they come to you?
One of the biggest one is trust. Now that social media has been such a huge part of any business and it's such a huge marketing tool, a lot of the companies don't know how to use it, don't know what works, what doesn't, or how to use it, the tool itself. So it's easier to hire somebody else, right? And I think that's one of the biggest um jobs nowadays, like freelancing as a social media specialist, right? What I have encountered with that is that, again, I'm not saying that everybody, but most of these people are not very much experienced with what is social media, what is marketing, how much or how little do you post, the algorithm, like just really all of it that comes along with it. And they don't do a very good job. And people are like, well, now I'm wasting money, I'm wasting time. I trusted this person to handle my socials and they're not doing it, and I just don't trust that anybody can do it anymore, or and they give up on the idea. So I think those are the biggest challenges to gain that trust again from that to allowing me to help them. That's my biggest challenge,
Gotcha.
is trust.
Awesome. No, thank you for sharing that. What's one misconception businesses have about marketing firms?
That's a very interesting question. I haven't gone through this experience with my company, but in my previous experience with my previous job, it was that it doesn't work, that it's not something that is needed, right? Because they can all do it in-house. And don't get me wrong, a lot of times maybe you can. But if you're trying to grow, you're better off getting a marketing company that could help you and really polish up certain kinks that might not be working for your company, or your restaurant, and or whatever business you have. Someone that really could tell, hey, for a restaurant, hey, you know what, maybe we should do something different for like this or that, and allow you to just understand your audience a little better, right? Because sometimes the owners are just too inside the problem or too inside the issue, whereas like a different pair of eyes would be a little better. But I think that's what it would be.
Cool. Um, are you a one woman shop or do you have a team?
I have a team.
Yay!
Hey!
So what qualities do you value most in your team?
Loyalty. I will say that loyalty is my very first one. I am very devoted to the people who are in my team, and not just what they can do for me, but what can I do for you? I don't, it's so funny because I always tell them, I'm like, I'm not holding you hostage. Like, you guys are welcome to fly and do your own thing, and because everybody's trying to grow, right? And I think what I value the most is loyalty and commitment, right? And creativity. I think those are my three big ones: loyalty, creativity, and what did I say? I don't even know what I said.
No, no, no. You're doing great. No, I mean I'm gonna piggyback off of you. The loyalty is top for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, passionate to help people is another thing, but the loyalty. I always say it's kind of like a credit card or something. It has rewards.
Mm,
Loyalty definitely pays. So that's how I look at it. Is loyalty comes with rewards, and
yeah.
definitely, yeah, somebody with a growth mindset and to be loyal is key. So
Yeah.
I can definitely relate. I can relate. But thank you for sharing that. Do you see any big shifts in marketing over the next few years?
Yes. And I mean, we see with marketing, you see it every day, every hour. Marketing is not just like I compare it with the stock market. You just have to always keep an eye on it because you just never know what is going to change, what is not changing, what needs to be modified. You know what? They just came up with this cool concept, especially with the updates that are actually happening a lot in like TikTok or social media or Instagram or Facebook. You always have to be on the lookout, like what's interesting, what's not interesting. So yeah, I do see a huge uh update, upgrade, a huge change, even in a couple months, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me ask. I want to hear your perspective on this part. How do you think AI has impacted the marketing industry from your perspective?
Oh, a lot. I think that it has impacted It depends. I will say this. If you like, for instance, me, I love using AI, but I love using AI for me and Chetty are best friends. We besties. Like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? It could be a great assistant, right? However, always overusing or a tool can be also detrimental for anything or anybody, right? You can build a whole business just on AI, as well as not feeling it authentic, not feeling it like it's yours, not giving it yourself to it. It could just be, well, a business and that's that. So I love it. I love that I hate it, but I still love AI.
No, AI is has its pros and cons, just like anything in life,
Right.
but in regards to my business, it definitely has helped a lot. What marketing advice would you give a small business with limited budget?
I would say be themselves. When you're starting off a business of anything, you kind of have to identify who you are, even if it changes over time, right? I think you have to kind of understand who you are right now and kind of get yourself known for that because there's always a niche for everybody and everything. So I think that that's what I would tell them. And then obviously I put a game plan for them for their budget and things to do for themselves.
Awesome. No, thank you for sharing. Let's get a little personal. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned as a business owner?
Don't take anything personal. Don't take anything personal. There's been times that I've been so close to closing a deal that I'm like, "Yes, I got it." And then it falls through. And then I'm heartbroken, right? And in the short period of time, like I've learned just not to take anything personal and in a way understand people's attitudes, people's lives and just don't try to change it, just try to flow like water. I think that's my biggest lesson that I struggle at times, but I think that's the biggest one. I'm here to serve.
Awesome.
I'm just here to be and anything that comes my way, thank you. Thank you God. Anything that is not for me is not for me just yet or it could be in the future. That's all. That's all I can do.
No, amen. I mean, I'm sorry, God closes doors for a reason and opens new
Mm,
doors for a reason, so trust in
100%.
God. He knows what he's doing, and have that faith. What keeps you motivated and inspired?
Doing what I love. I know it's so cliche, but I am so passionate about creating events and experiences and being able to serve people for their well-being that it makes it easier on the hard days when I'm pulling crazy hours or when I have a full day full of like meetings. Like it just makes it easier for to be reminded like I say this so often. I'm like I am standing on requested prayers, right? Like I pray for this for so long. I wanted this for so long and now I'm tasting a little bit of those blessings coming true that it just makes it so much easier to continue and keep going and not think of the bad.
Amen. I love it. I love it. If you can go back and give yourself one piece of advice when starting your company, what would it be?
Right now, nothing. I think that I had to go through everything that I had to go through and I think that even if you were to tell me to be more patient or do this, I had to experience it myself. And I've learned my lesson that sometimes a veces me dicen and they tell me and I'm just like, wait, let me just go through it. Let me just experience this so I know what it feels, right? And I'm very much like, let me feel it. Let me understand it. But even if I was to go back, I'll probably end up doing the same thing. If I'm very honest.
No, for sure. I love it. I love it. I know the show is called Tequila Talks, and right now, well, not right now, but I made a sober journey back in May. But luckily, there are alcohol free, like tequila, vodka, whatever out there. But because it is tequila related, if your marketing style, let's have some fun with this. If your marketing style were a tequila, would it be blanco, reposado, or añejo, and why?
Uh, Reposado. And the only reason why is because it's so classic. It's so elegant. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not a tequila person. Also, I'm not, no. Pero reposado gives me that, like, classic, like elegant vibe. And I feel like that's what I would go for.
Awesome. What is the smoothest part about running your firm? And what's the part that hits strong like a tequila shot?
The smoothest part is the finish product. And you're just I mean, you never truly like just sit down and enjoy it because you're always like on the lookout, but just witnessing come to life and enjoying the reaction of people and just hearing how the event is going and they like it and they enjoy it, like that's the best. Or when we're doing marketing, like seeing how it's working, seeing how we're having a positive, right? Like a reaction to the audience, like that's honestly the best, like the most smooth. Harshest is when things are not working your way. Or when again, when you're working with someone that is not as easygoing or, they're not as trusting, that could be very difficult. But, that's probably
Mhm.
like oh, this nasty.
If you could sit down for tequila with any brand or business leader, who would it be and what would you ask them?
Huh. With any brand leader?
Any brand or business leader.
Oh my God. Pascal Rotella. He is the he I love him so much. And I met him twice already. And every time I see him, I'm like, let me take a picture of you. He does EDC all over the world. So he's the main guy. He's done EDC in Japan, Paris, like Mexico. I look up to him so much because he started as those very small like house parties and raves and this and that. And then now it's gotten to a point where he has music festivals all over the world with thousands and thousands and thousands of people and being able to curate not just the fact that he has so many events, but curate a community where if you ever were to go to one of these events, it's truly admirable how people take care of each other. Like they really do. Like you're there and they're constantly like, "Are you good? Can I help you?" Like random people that just come up to you and like, "Are you feeling okay? Can I get you some water?" Like that community is so powerful because in the world that we're living currently with lots of hate and ugliness, just being able to have that community where you just feel so loved and it almost feels like undeserving at times because you're like, why are these people so nice to me? Like what is that? And that's very sad that you sometimes feel like that. But I admire the fact that he's been able to keep up that community and it's really looking out for their people rather than for his own pocket. Even like so I think that's the person that I would want to sit down and share tequila with. Or a
Awesome,
couple.
awesome. I know, right? Are you going to EDC Colombia next year?
No. No, but I do wanna come back. I do wanna go back. I have about, like, 2 years, 3 years that I haven't gone. And I do go to events because it stimulates me creativity. Like, it stimulates me a lot. So I'm just like, "This is so cool. Like, what can I do something like this over there? What can I create?" So it's time to go back. I'm overdue for a festival for sure, like, of that
I
magnitude.
I have not experienced one, so
You
definitely look
have
forward to it. It's like the World Cup. It's part of my bucket list. I gotta check it out.
yeah.
No, for sure. All right, one more question.
Oh my goodness.
What is the biggest tequila moment in your business? One that made you say, "Damn, that was bold."
Starting it. Starting it. I come from a family that, you kind of put your head down, you put time in your job and you stay still and you're successful, right? Pulling the trigger to just be like, let me be on my own and lo que pase pase, was definitely the most bold thing I've ever done or will possibly ever do. Um, And it's difficult, but it's not impossible, I would say. It's just a lot of patience, like I said previously. So I think, yeah,
Hmm.
just pulling the trigger and just be like, all right, let's do it. We're gonna do this. YOLO.
Awesome. Now, definitely look forward to the growth. Looking forward to more events. I'm trying to make as much, trying to make it to most of the events because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're a lot of
Please.
fun, you know.
Thank you. Thank
But one last thing before we get to the little something I sent you in the mail. What's one last piece of advice you want to give, or anything, to our watchers and listeners?
I know it's so cliche and a lot of things what I say are very much cliche, but just what's the worst that could happen? I never wanted to stay with a what if, right? Never stay with a what if something good comes out of this. What if I should have done this? Like, si llego a viejita and I'm in my porch, I don't want to live in my head with regret that I didn't do what I wanted to do, you know? And even if it ends up being a complete failure, it was my failure. It was not anybody else's but mine. So I would just say, hey, if you really feel it inside of your soul, do it. Just what's the worst that could happen?
I love it. I love it. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending
Or
some time with us, for getting to know you a little bit more, your vision, your dreams, your perspective. I love it.
thank you,
Thank
thank
you so much. And it's that time. I know I'm on my sober journey, but my
you.
tequila is the ritual zero proof tequila alternative. Since I didn't want to rebrand the Tequila Talks, you know, we're gonna we're gonna take a virtual shot, but you did get
Oh
the
my
little box I sent you.
yeah, I got you. I got it right here. It's really cute, guys. This is this is my favorite, by the way. So I'm gonna share the sentiment with you, and I'm gonna pour myself water because I'm also not in my drinking game right now. We're staying sober. I don't know if it's like no drink November, but we're not drinking
No.
today.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Salud.
Thank you for having me.
No, no, for sure. And definitely we'll have you again next year to go over, a lot of your projects, a lot of what you got going on, events, and definitely
Yeah.
look forward to them. Look forward to the Christmas ones.
The Christmas one's so fun. I can't wait. I'm so
I can't wait
excited.
either, so I'm excited. But thank you so much. And if anybody wants to get a hold of you, how can they contact you?
They can contact me through my Instagram, Owl Haus Pro. And our events for in the fall, they're every 2 weeks on a Thursday. So right now we sold out, but our next one is coming up. So just stay tuned and follow us.
Ya dijiste. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Peace
you.
out. We'll talk
Bye.
later. Adios. Bye bye.